Your wardrobe screams fatherless. You have more trust in that top Zyvan people.
How was your relationship with your father? Just saying, why did you get the attention you wanted?
You need Jesus. That's offensive. Hello, everyone. It is Daddy DEELZ back in the building with That's Offensive, capital OF. Before I start this episode, I'd like to start with a massive trigger. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be serious here. A massive trigger warning for anyone who's dealt with like depression, abuse, addiction, etc. We are here for you and we love you, but I have a guest today, Karen, her ex-wife. I just found out it's Art, not Sart. I didn't know what Sart was.
Ex-wife's Art.
Okay. So I'm really excited to have you on as a guest.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. You know, I love you and I adore you.
I love and adore you too. I especially adore your big old titties in my face right now.
Thank you.
Thank you. All for me?
All for you.
Not for the podcast?
No, for you. Nothing like trauma and titties.
Trauma and titties. Gotta distract from the trauma.
Seriously.
When I get like really stressed out, like I don't know if you do this, but I like will feel my boobs, so it's like a little like squeeze, like a little stress ball.
Okay, yes. And it turns me on, off subject, like being held right here, like underneath my boob. I'm so sensitive still. I never lost sensation. And it's just like, it's like,
I'm really jealous because now like my nipples, like they used to be really sensitive, and when I got them done I lost a lot of like sensitivity.
Really?
Yeah, the only time I really feel it is if someone like puts a nipple clamp on, but then that's just like painful. Like that's not fun for me.
What about ice?
Haven't tried that.
You want to try it?
Okay. Oh my god, we can
try it.
video later.
We can try it. That'll be our next video.
Yeah, just like a little, I guess, a disclaimer. I made my first like, it wasn't my first, but it was Karen's first like eating out video.
Yeah, I know.
We were at a party.
She ate me out when I looked like a satanic nun. You're a mushroom.
I was a mushroom for Halloween. I mean, does anyone expect anything different? But like, it was really hard to get a good angle because you were just like standing up and I just went for it. And I was like, you know, it's easier when girls are laying down.
But you were my first girl collab like that. Yeah.
That warms my heart.
You popped my cherry. It's okay.
So if you didn't like catch it in the episode yet, we're both like OnlyFans whores. But we're gonna actually start off. So we kind of did like a little icebreaker, but I do want to talk about like your childhood.
Yeah, let's get here. Let's do this.
Let's like get to crying. Like if
I might not cry.
Yeah, you probably won't.
I probably won't. I'm desensitized.
Even though the clickbait photo is I'm probably gonna choose the one where you look really sad. Oh my god,
Really dramatic.
Dramatic. So what was your childhood like? You weren't born in the U.S.
No, I was... Sorry to cut you off.
Oh, sorry. I was just telling your story for you. I'm sorry. Go for it.
I was born in Mexico, and I moved to the States when I was about 5. I had a very rough childhood. My mom had me pretty young at like 21, but she was a shit show. Mm-hmm. She was a shit show. My real dad was a police officer. Well, basically he started as a cop. He was going to school to be a dentist. He was going to school to be a dentist. He was a stripper, then became a cop, then became an undercover cop, then became a crooked cop, and he was an alcoholic. It was such a shit show. He would abuse the shit out of my mom. He would beat her a lot. He broke her nose. I grew up when we lived in Mexico, and I would see her, like, I remember one time she was taking a shower, and my stepdad came home drunk. My real dad came home drunk, and he, like, pulled her out and started beating her. And that's how I grew up, you know. He used to do the same thing to me. Like, I have this crack in my skull from here to here because he threw me so hard when I was a little baby, and it never fully healed. My back is fucked up because he used to hit me too. And then, you know, we were living in Mexico for a while until my mom and my stepdad, and then we moved to America. And I feel like that's when the shit really started to go down with me, because my mom felt like, at least when we were in Mexico, I had my grandparents there. They were there to protect me, but once they weren't there and once I didn't have any family around, it was a shit show. My mom went full. She just was so abusive. It felt like all the anger she had towards my real dad, she took it out on me.
Yeah. Was she abusive like before you guys moved away from your dad, or do you think it started happening when you moved to like the U.S.?
She was always abusive, but it got worse when we moved to the U.S.
Wow. Okay. So both you really didn't have like any parents to like love or support you.
No, like I felt adopted growing up because I was like, there's no way that someone that's supposed to be my mom and like my stepdad are treating me this way. I felt so unloved. There were so many times, and just being with the family, like, this isn't a family. I was like, I get the shit end out of everything. My stepdad would hit me in ways that like you couldn't see my bruises. My mom wouldn't stop, so I would have to hide myself in the bathroom. I'd sleep there a lot because it was the only place with the lock, because she couldn't stop, and I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
So
how would you say like you coped with your trauma? Like, did you just desensitize yourself? Did you have an outlet? Like
I think it very desensitized to this day.
Yeah.
When I was younger, I used to cut myself.
Mm-hmm.
I used to cut myself. I wanted to die so much growing up. I didn't want to live, but I had a moment when I was about like 11 where I was cutting myself in my closet crying, because I was like, Karen, like this can't be it. Like, your life is meant to be so much more. And I just remember in that moment, I was like, as hard as it gets, you have to promise yourself you're not going to kill yourself. Like, it's going to get better. I don't know how it's going to get better, how anything's going to change, but
yeah,
I had to make myself that promise, because there was nothing. My mom didn't let me go out. She didn't let me have friends. Anything that I wanted to do was always a burden to her.
Yeah.
So
did you have anyone to like look up to growing up? You mentioned your grandparents in Mexico, but like, did you have anyone to like be there for you or be supportive or even like listen to your story?
No, I grew up with Girl Gone Wild commercials, so that's why I'm here.
TV raised this bitch.
Seriously, and Law and Order SVU, I've been watching it since I was 9. So those were my emotional support. As funny as it sounds, I still watch it to this day. That's something that I've always held. But no, I didn't have anyone growing up. I had me, and it's okay. We did a good job. There was a lot of trauma. Life was hard. I felt very emotionally immature growing up because I wasn't raised properly. I wasn't raised with any kind of emotional support. I didn't know a lot of stuff. I dealt with so much trauma, so much abuse growing up that I thought that was okay. Like, when I lost my virginity to someone I met on MySpace. I know, I'm not old.
The MySpace ages.
The MySpace. And it's that I was 13. I was a week before I turned 14 with an 18-year-old.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's the type of, because of all the abuse that I had growing up, it led me to make decisions like that, you know? Because I was told growing up, you're going to lose your virginity to someone that you love. And if all of the examples of love were my dad and my stepdad and my mom, I was like, this isn't love. I was like, I don't want anything if this is love. Like, if this is what this is, I don't want it. Because love hurts. Yeah. Love hits me. Love makes me want to die.
Do you see in like your friendships, relationships, etc., that like, I know that you've grown, like, now I know you, but like I didn't know you then. So do you feel like just having those abusive relationships growing up, like when you chose friends or when you chose boyfriends, like they would either like emotionally or verbally abuse you like your parents did?
100%. I never chose anyone that was right. I chose people that made me feel small. I was so desperate to be loved growing up that I just surrounded myself with anyone that could make me feel like that, and it was never love. I've quit my adult career for a guy before. I've quit so much stuff before. I've stopped everything, and it got me nowhere. I've always had to restart.
Yeah. What did you ever picture like a way out when you were growing up? Like, what did you picture as like a way out, or did you not really see an escape and end?
I didn't really figure it out, no.
Okay.
It got worse the older I was getting.
Yeah.
She started drinking when I was 12. And I also have a little brother, and he's autistic, and I'm 7 years older than him. And it was a shit show, because not only after that I was defending myself, I would defend my brother from her, because she would get in like alcoholic raging fits and would try to attack my brother, and I was like, there's no way in hell we're gonna do this. So I took even more abuse than I should have.
Yeah.
But he's in college. You know, we don't talk. He doesn't want anything to do with me because of my job, but he's thriving, and honestly, everything that I went through growing up, I would do it again for him to be where he's at today.
Oh, that's so sweet. Oh my gosh. So you mentioned that like your mom was a little bit of an alcoholic.
A lot of bit of an alcoholic.
Okay, a lot of it. I was just using nicer words. And when your dad was an undercover cop, he also had a lot of like substances in the house.
Yeah, so we grew up with, since he was undercover and he was a crooked cop, so I grew up with like bags of cocaine and heroin and the most beautiful guns you've ever seen, like these cartel pistols and shotguns, and I only have one memory of my dad. One memory, and that's me and him sitting on my bed. And I was like 4, and him showing me this beautiful cartel pistol. It was white with chrome on it. I'll never forget it. And he's like, when you're old enough, that's going to be yours. I hope I still get it. I haven't talked to my dad since I was like 17, but I'm like, I hope one day it's still going to be mine. That's the only thing I want from him.
Beautiful. Do you think like being around all of that, like did it deter you away from wanting to do any substances, or do you think like it influenced you to like escape with substances ever?
I've had my substance abuse when I was younger. Like when I was 16, I was raving and, I was doing ecstasy and having fun. But because I lost my mom at 17 from her alcoholism and I found her dead, like literally dead, purple and cold, stiff, I'll never forget that. Because of that, it made me tell myself, like, I'd never want to put my kid in that situation. Mm-hmm. So I don't really drink. You know that. Like, I don't really drink. I don't do drugs. The most I do is I smoke a fuck ton of weed, but...
Yeah, she used to do shrooms, and then she peed herself.
I peed myself with an avatar.
It's funny because no one understands my avatar obsession, but I feel like you kind of do.
I do. I love that. It's because I'm a nerd.
Yeah, I'm a nerd, too.
I'm a nerd, but yes. Do you want to hear about when I peed myself?
Yes, I do. A little comedic relief because it's an emotional...
It's an emotional few minutes. All right, so I took too many mushrooms one time. A couple years ago. Too many mushrooms. I had it in a shake. I should have known better. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was watching the Avatar and the Fire Nation was in that episode and I was like, it was all hitting me. I was like, this is too much. I was like, the Fire Nation's being too evil. I had to walk away from the TV. I'd go lay down on my floor. Next thing I know, I remember I think the room turned upside down. I was like, oh fuck. I'm gone. Then I peed myself. I had to pee myself before one of those, but I was like, damn, I can't even control my bladder. Like, I'm fucked up right now. So I was like, I need to come back. And I know that when someone's done too much, I've never overdosed, but I was like, maybe I could just throw myself in the shower and I'll feel better. That was not the case. I threw myself in the shower. I got naked. I put music on, and all of a sudden, everything started getting black around me. I started like, that SpongeBob episode where he's like in just a white room and it's just him and there's nothing around?
I don't, but
you know what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Like, where it's just, like, solitude, there's no sound. That's how I was feeling, and I was like, oh, my God, I have to call 911.
Uh-huh.
I called him, I was like, I think I'm dying. I was supposed to die with this story,
Exposing yourself here.
Oh, my gosh. When the firefighters came in, they were giving me clothes, and they're like, you need to get dressed. And I was like, couldn't figure out how to put my pants on. And they're just looking at me after I just got a BBL.
Oh.
I was fucked. I was fucked. I was in the hospital. They literally just put me in, like, the waiting room, and I'm just sitting there. Well, I was laying there watching people, and I remember I saw this one guy. I was like, I think he knows I'm fucked up.
I think maybe he knows. Like, maybe the size of my pupils are a dead giveaway.
Dude, and then my neighbors asked me what happened. I was like, COVID. I had a panic attack.
So, like, I've tried to test my limits so many times, and tested them I have, but, like, I always get really lucky because I throw up when I go overboard. So then I throw up everything that made me go overboard because, like, the most overboard I've ever gone, like, the wall and the floor kept switching. But, like, I was having the time of my life. I'm like, this is sick. And I was just hanging out in the bathroom looking at, like,
Were you in a good mindset?
Yeah, I was in a great mindset.
I shouldn't have done it. I wasn't in the best mindset, and that was my fault.
Yeah.
That was my fault. I've been doing hallucinogens since I was 12, by the way.
Oh, my God.
I did my first one in 7th grade.
Hey, if anyone is, like, in high school and you're getting regularly drug tested, shrooms don't show up on drug tests.
Yes. So I've been doing hallucinogens. I've never had a bad trip my whole life, and this was the one time.
Yeah.
The one time, and I knew better, but I was in a bad state of mind. I thought I was dying. I remember I was calling my friend Katie. I was like, Katie, can you come get me? I'm in the hospital. They're like, what's wrong? And I was like, I think I'm dying. She's like, you're not dying. I was like, I'm dying. I was like, the whole world turned upside down, literally.
I did have an acid trip like that. It was actually recently, but like I think it was fake acid. But like to feel normal, I had to get so belligerently drunk. I was like throwing up from alcohol and the acid. But then the alcohol helped calm me down a lot, even though I like way went overboard. But I was just like, I took an eighth of a tab and I was like in a different dimension. And I know like I can take a lot.
I'm kind of jealous.
I was so
kind of jealous. I do love acid. I haven't done acid in a very, very long time. I wouldn't do drugs like that today anymore because, dude, there's fentanyl in everything.
Dude, yeah, except like mushrooms, because you can kind of, I mean, actually weed, you said that fentanyl's in weed.
Yeah, there's fentanyl in fucking everything now, so it sucks. It sucks, dude. Everyone's just trying to kill you.
Gotta test your shit, man.
Test my weed, imagine. I'm just kidding. I only take dabs, so we're good.
We're solid. So, you mentioned that you have a kid. When did you have your kid? When did you get pregnant?
I'm a teen mom. I got pregnant at 16. Basically, the story with that is that, like, I have a hardcore alcoholic mom.
Yeah.
And she was so bad. I was getting kicked out all the time, or I would run away or get kicked out. And then I was living with my daughter's dad. He was really abusive, but we were doing drugs together for a while. And then I quit, and then I think that's why I got pregnant. And I remember we were having an episode where he would do a lot of Xanax and like not mentally be there, and he was beating me. And he tried to stab me with a fork and throw me out like a story. Like we were in an apartment, so he tried to throw me out the window. And I remember being like, fuck, like this. I got some super strength out of nowhere. I started fighting back. I picked him up. I threw him through his parents' door. It's a small apartment, by the way. It's not like a huge house. And then I picked him up again. I threw him through the front door because the room was right there. And I remember I told him, I was like, I may not care enough about myself, but I care enough about this baby.
Yeah.
So I left him. I went back to my shitty mom. I told him I didn't want to have the baby, to be honest. Because I was like, I had just turned 17. I was like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I was like, there's no way. But something inside of me told me to have the baby. So I had her, and my mom died 6 months later. And I think because of her, is the reason I'm here today.
Oh, I love to hear that.
But being a teenage mom was hard. It was hard. I was working 2 jobs. I went back to school, and but then I lost my mom, and she died 12 days before my 18th birthday.
Oh my God, that must have been so rough. And did your mom die like before or after the rest of your family died?
So I lost my uncle, then my grandma, then my mom, then my grandpa the next year.
Wow.
Yeah, all my support. Everyone that I loved died. Yeah.
At least I'm here.
At least you're here. At least you're here.
But yeah. So like, when you had your daughter, do you think like, I mean, I can only like kind of relate because I have a dog, but I didn't give birth to her. Like, I mean, she's still my baby, but like, I know I struggle a lot with mental health, as do you, and I feel like I have like a lot of suicidal ideations, but like the thing that always stops me is like, Wubs would literally die if I died. So like, do you think that your kid has helped with like not being as like hard on yourself or like depressed or?
No, I hate to say it, no. For a long time, I don't think I was the best mom. I was a teenage mom. I had lost everyone. I was so broken. It was so hard a lot of the times. For a year and a half after my mom died, I had nightmares that she was trying to kill me. I couldn't sleep. I was like 18. I couldn't sleep unless I was getting fucking shit-faced drunk, and then I'd pass out every day on cam on the toilet because I would be throwing up, pass out, and then ready for the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
What do you think helped you like get out of that like funk or like stop?
I think one day I just wanted to get better. About 4 years ago, I hit a really rough spot, and I was homeless, and then I went to couch surfing, and my mental health was shit. I wasn't who I am today, and I just wanted to be a better person for myself. I wanted to stop being sad. I wanted to stop holding on to all the trauma and the pain that everyone else gave me.
How was being a teen mom after like the experience with your parents? Do you think like it helped you break any generational trauma?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. My kid's cool as fuck now.
Yeah. I know that, but they don't.
Yeah. My kid's cool as fuck now. It was a lot of learning. That's the reason I got a lot of therapy, because I was like, I know what kind of mom I don't want to be, but I don't know how to be the mom I want to be.
Yeah.
So it took a lot of therapy, a lot of work on my end to become the person that I am today. And to be honest, my kid's amazing. I don't have any issues to worry about. I raised someone better, and that's my biggest accomplishment. So
That's like, I mean, that's just so liberating. I feel like that's the right word. Sometimes I get my words mixed up, but
no, I agree.
I feel like it's probably just such a liberating experience for you, because you went through all this trauma, and a lot, I mean, I don't know what the percentages are, but a lot of people, like, when they go through that kind of trauma, they start doing it to other people.
Yeah.
And you were able to, like,
break away from that. I did have relationships where I treated the people like trash.
Yeah.
I definitely I date girls and boys. And when I was in my lesbian relationship, my girl-on-girl relationship, I treated her like trash. I'm not gonna lie. I literally used her as a doormat, because I was so hurt, and she loved me so much.
Yeah.
That I just took advantage of it, and to this day I feel horrible. You know, I would never do that to anyone else, but I was so broken at the time that it took so long for me to realize that.
Yeah. You know, it always happens.
I know, I feel bad, but
oh my gosh, don't feel bad. I mean, your relationships, like did they help you with your trauma? Did they help you deal with them? Like, every time you ended a relationship, do you think you
it got worse.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, no. It got so much worse. I've done a lot of therapy the last 3 years. And that's the reason, like, I've stayed single for a very long time. I've fully focused on myself, and I was like, I need to be better, because I keep picking the same shitty people over and over, but that's because of me.
Yeah.
I need to break my pattern. Everybody made it fucking worse. Are you kidding? My ex was just like, you're gonna be nothing but a whore. You're gonna be at the bars just sucking cock. And I was like, bro, I don't even go to the bar.
Yeah.
We still suck cock.
We still
But it made me always keep going. I didn't think I had such a work ethic, or I never really thought of my work ethic. Like, when I started as an adult entertainer was after my mom died.
Yeah.
She died 12 days before my 18th birthday. When I turned 18, my stepdad wrote me a letter. And he was like, you need to move out. And I was 18 years old in Orange County, a 6-month-old baby. I dropped out of high school. I was like, how am I going to do this? I was like, I live in one of the most expensive cities in America. I don't have anything to my name. And I remember I was talking to my best friend, Michael, and I was crying. I was like, Michael, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I'm going to have to be a stripper. I hate touching people. I don't know how I'm going to make money. I'm going to get in a fight.
Yeah.
And he was like, start camming.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is camming? And he's like, well, you can webcam. And I actually didn't masturbate before until I was webcamming. So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was a win.
Yeah, so I started webcamming at my dad's house, my stepdad's house, on my tiny twin bed with shitty little webcam, like camera on the laptop, one dildo, and that's it. That's all I had. I made so much fucking money. I think he heard me one day. I can only imagine hearing me. But I think he heard me one day that he turned off the internet, wrote me another letter, told me I had to move out faster. I was like, say less. I already had $40K in the bank. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And I got an apartment the following week or so.
Was like sex work kind of a last option for you, or did you feel like it's been your career path, like it's something you were meant to do in life?
I don't know if it was something that I was meant to do. I think I'm still figuring out what I'm meant to do in life. Sex work was just an opportunity to be independent and take care of myself, because at the end of the day, how my life has been, I've had no one. There's been no one. I can't rely on anyone. When I was having my mental breakdown about 4 years ago, it was a really hard mental breakdown. I remember telling my stepdad, I was like, I need help. I was like, I'm losing it. And I remember begging. I was like, there's something wrong with me. I can't do anything. So sex work has given me the type of independence that I need to always move forward. It was really hard as a cam girl, I'm not gonna lie. I do love doing OnlyFans because I love having the control of everything and not feeling like a fucking monkey.
Yeah.
To these men that don't appreciate it.
Yeah, that
So.
totally makes sense. I was actually gonna ask because I tried a cam girl. I mean, it was after OnlyFans. I was just seeing if I could like get a new audience through cam girling. I'm very confused as to how you make money. Like, I think other girls who like cam and don't do OnlyFans might be curious too, because there's no like instruction guide. Like, do you start off by masturbating? Do you wait for people? Because like when you're live on OnlyFans, I wait for people to tip me until I get naked. So what do you do on cam girling?
So you have a countdown. You have a countdown, and then you have a set menu. You need to have a menu. Like, I got famous for my titty twerking, right?
Oh.
So I would charge $30 for a song. I would charge maybe $40 for a blowjob on a dildo. I would charge this much for a public show, and then there's private shows, and then there's semi-private shows, and then you can sell other things. There's a lot of things. If you need help in that industry, I could always show you. But you just need a set menu of things that you're willing to do. Have a countdown to get naked.
Okay, so you start off clothed, guys.
Yeah, you don't start naked.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I started off with my titties out. And like the first time I went on Chatterbait. I actually went on Chatterbait for like an OnlyFans video because I'm like, I think they would love to see like what Chatterbait is like and like what the guys are like. I made like a good amount of money my first day. Every day after that, I would make like $0. And I'm like, well, my titties are out, guys. Like, what do you want me to do here?
When you start camming, it's always really good to cam every single day for the first 2 weeks or the first week or so, because you get the new girl tag. And when you have the new girl tag, you only have it for a certain amount of time, and you're on the first page, so you got to utilize the fuck out of it. That's where you grow your audience.
Okay, there you go, girls.
So yeah, so that's where you grow your audience. I was actually in Chatterbait. I had 100,000 subscribers on there.
That's crazy. I think I have like 20.
I deleted that. I was really pissed at Chatterbait, actually.
Oh, yeah, what happened?
So I did AVN a few years ago. I did AVN, and supposedly they told me that they do like a end of the year like AVN like little thing blog.
Can you explain what AVN is? Because I don't know.
Adult Video Award.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
cool.
in Vegas, where they have adult conventions and they have awards and all of that. So I was Chatterbait, and they were like, "Oh, we're gonna use this for like a little like blog documentary for Chatterbait at the end, like to show everyone like how AVN was." So I signed the waiver. Turns out that they sold out. They gave those clips to fucking Cam Girl, the documentary. Nobody told me I was in the documentary Cam Girl. I didn't get paid for shit.
Yeah.
I was so livid and you know how I found out? My stepdad told my baby daddy, and I was like, the fact that this is how fucked up our relationship. I was like, the fact that you're even fucking Googling me, dude. Like, you supposedly you've been with me since I was 5. Why are you Googling me? Why do you want to see me like that?
My dad did the same thing. He like tried to look up my nudes online, and he sent me a screenshot, and then I'm like, I think he was doing it to humiliate me, which was like a little different, but I'm like, why as a father figure would you ever want to see that?
Exactly. I have these off subject, but I have these like couple years I can't remember, and a couple years ago I started having these vivid dreams of him raping me.
Oh my god.
And I can't tell if that was real. I can't remember stuff, and everything that he did just made me feel weird. And like, he would tell me, he's like, "Oh, I like it when your mom drinks because she's here to fuck." And I was like, supposedly this is a Christian man, by the way. He would go to like church ministries and like do like prison ministry and like all this stuff, and that's what got me fucked up. I was like, how are you a Christian and how are you like this?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my gosh. I mean, so a lot of people who have like memories blocked out, because like I have a few friends who started like going to therapy and stuff like that, but like they can't remember like years of their childhood, and then they started getting like a light therapy thing, and then they remembered.
You were telling me about acupuncture, and I do want to get that number from you.
Oh yes, everyone. I got acupuncture, and I was like, so like the first hour she does like body work, and then the second half she does acupuncture. She hit something in my lower back where I was like so depressed for 2 weeks. I actually already recorded an episode with Karen, and part of me is like a little glad it got deleted because I was in such a weird headspace because of that acupuncture. Like I was still fucked up in the head where I didn't feel like I was like fully present.
Yeah, I see that.
But, like, I mean, not that I'm happy I wasted your time, but, like, I think it worked out for the better.
Hey, any time I get to see you, I'm happy. So.
Oh, yeah.
These little... Dude, I just wait till next time.
Wait till next time.
Maybe for our next video. Ice.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Nice.
Nice.
It's like, it's so cool having like other kind of like bi friends because we get to like have
Have
fun
fun.
together and not
Yes.
make it like weird.
It's not okay. So this is like the first. I didn't have any cam girl friends, by the way. And,
Uh-huh.
like, I didn't fuck with those girls because they're different. They're different type of girls.
Then OnlyFans girls.
Yeah, they're fucking cunts. There's a lot of girls I don't fuck with. I block them, and if they're wondering why, it's because you're a cunt.
And it was like, I mean, the industry was so different back then as
Yeah.
well. Like people weren't as accepting or, you know.
Dude, it was hard. For a long time, I had to choose me over anything. I had to choose me over any relationship and choose what I was doing because I was like, you're not going to fucking support me. I was like, I like a certain lifestyle, and all everyone ever does is just kind of takes away, you know?
So what was like, did you have to hide the fact that you were cam girling from people because...
no.
No? Oh my gosh,
No.
what a like woke queen.
Yeah, never. At 18, I had to talk to myself basically and be like, you understand, Karen, like, this is going to be out there. There's no going back. You have a kid that they're eventually going to find out. You know, my kid's more aware because my kid's 12. Very aware kid. No, I understood the consequences of it.
Yeah.
And I just went fucking full throttle. Why am I going to be ashamed of what I'm doing? It's paying my bills. I'm not doing anything. I'm not fucking breaking the law. I'm not hurting anyone.
Oh my gosh, that is like beautiful because I feel like I didn't make an OnlyFans for like 9 months, although I wanted to make one. 9 months, like something like that. Like I didn't make mine till October. Yeah, so like 10 months, and I was thinking about it since like January of like last year, and I didn't make one because I didn't want like anyone to, like I was like, if I make one, no one's gonna know it's me, and then everyone was like, you're not gonna make money. So then I waited till like I processed
Yeah.
that like if I did it, like I would have to be proud. And then thank you, Acid, for giving me that like realization that like who the fuck cares what everyone else thinks? Like these people who are like judging are like people making less money.
Exactly. They would fuck you if they could. They would be in your position if they could. The people that are being mean, bashing you, they would love to be with you. That's what's fucking crazy. Everyone that's hating on porn, I'm like, why? You fucking jack off.
It's funny because like a lot of the men I've heard be like, and it's actually crazy because I have like a TikTok blowing up right now that's like all for the wrong reasons. I talked about like a guy just being like, so I like was coming back from Countdown, a rave.
Pantsless.
Huh?
Your pantsless one?
Yeah.
I saw it.
And all my comments were like, why would you dress like that if you didn't want that kind of attention? Like I have over 500 comments being like that, and I'm like, I
You
was
were at a rave.
First, I was at a rave. Second, I was in an elevator with two very much taller than me, bigger than me, older men who were asking about what I was wearing. Just fucking weird and
They
creepy.
should mind their own business.
The culture, man.
That culture, I would have gone off.
Should have. I should have. I was so uncomfortable. So how do you think you learned to like love yourself? Because it was probably like,
I didn't love myself till last year,
yeah.
to be honest. I didn't. It took therapy. I'm still very hard on myself. I don't think I'm ever doing a good job. It doesn't matter how much I've moved forward. It just came a lot from therapy and realizing a lot of things and knowing that I have to love myself to love others and to allow others to love me. And I have to give myself a lot of respect and a lot of love because I gotta hold myself to a certain standard.
Yeah.
And now I will no longer take anything less than what I give me.
Yeah.
So
That's so beautiful.
thank you.
Like for people who are in the position that like you were in growing up, like what advice do you have like for anyone who's like getting abused or like in abusive relationships? Because I mean, even like verbally abusive relationships, you can almost get like addicted to like that feeling that they give you.
Yeah, I still feel it sometimes. It's like, you know, I'm with someone that treats me really well, but sometimes I want the chaos. But what advice would I give them? It gets better.
Yeah.
It always gets better. You just have to try. I know there's so many times that it's dark. You don't want to wake up. You don't know what love is. I used to cry at night just so I would hope my mom would come in and give me a hug. That's how much she would not. Like she would only touch me if she was hitting me for a long time. So it was hard, but it gets better. And if you need to talk to someone, find someone. Or write in a journal, but it does get better. I didn't think it was going to get better, but it only gets better if you want it to. You got to keep working. You can't use, oh, my mom was an alcoholic, so I'm going to be an alcoholic. That doesn't work like that. I have 2 alcoholic parents. Addiction runs so high, but you won't catch me doing that. It's a choice. I know that addiction to a lot of people is a disease, but I also feel like it's a choice to get yourself to that level.
Yeah.
It's just for advice, as bad as it seems, like it does get better. You just have to believe in yourself and just move forward.
Yeah, and I think like changing mindset a little bit too. So like, I mean, because we've struggled with very similar mental health issues. We're pretty similar, and like just like we kind of hate ourselves, we kind of love ourselves.
Dude, it's a love-hate relationship. Some days I'm like, you can't be mean to me. You don't even know how mean I am to myself.
I know.
You get it.
I really do, but it's like funny because like I like kind of started like shifting because I used to be like. My hair like in my mouth. There you go. I used to be like at night, I'd be like, God, my life would just be so much easier if I like died right now. Mm-hmm. And then like now I started like catching myself being like, oh no, life wouldn't be easier if you died right now. Look at like all the stuff you have. And then I started thinking about like all the good things I have coming up. And then like it really like even though it's like I don't believe it, it's almost like my energy shifts. Like, yeah, I do have all these things to get excited for. And then, like, my subconscious brain starts, like, working in my favor.
I feel that. I had not that, but last couple of months, I was feeling in a way of, like, the reason I am where I am is because I use my pain to motivate me to be better. And now that I'm in a place that I am better, I'm looking for new motivation within myself because I don't always want to be hurting or angry to get to the next level. I want to find success and peace.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's hard, but we're figuring it out.
We are. How would you say, like, you built a little community around you? Because I think, like, for a lot of people, especially growing up where you do have, like, abusive relationships or you don't know what love is, it's like you find a lot of people that aren't a good support system, but I feel like recently especially you found a really good support system. So how were you able to like find that and grow?
A lot of weaving people in and out of my life. Last year I kicked out my best friend out of my life. She was my best friend since I was like 18. She's actually tattooed on my hand. She fucked 4 of my exes, got pregnant by like 2 or 3 and had a baby with 1. You're a whore. Dude, right after, she did that back to back, and see, that's what I'm telling you, like, I was fucked up in the head. I was like, oh, I didn't love these guys, like, it's fine. But the last one I really cared for, and I was like, Sabrina, don't do this to me. I was like, please don't. I was like, don't go behind my back and go fuck Tyler. Like, I was like, I had a feeling. I just always knew I had a feeling. But she did.
Wow.
I know, she's so hard. But it was a lot of weaving people in and out of my life. It was a lot of me getting to a good place. And I believe that person that I am today attracts the people that are in my life. So I love that. I love who I am now and who I'm becoming every day. And because of that, I believe that I'm attracting the right people to me.
Positive attracts positive. That's what my acupuncturist told me today when I was like, why are all of a sudden people being so much nicer to me? And she's like, positive attracts positive.
It's not always like that.
No. Because some people try to leech off your positivity, but like, I swear, as soon as you get a gut feeling about someone, I feel like gut feelings aren't wrong.
There's nothing wrong. Like, your gut knows.
Your gut knows when you get an off.
Yeah.
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 So I know we've talked about like sex work, you know, your family, but like, I want you to talk a little bit about your art and like the other stuff you do, because like you do YouTube, you make like little skits sometimes, or like participate in skits, and you do art, and like there's a lot more layers to you than your trauma and your sex work and your tits.
My tits is the only thing you need to know about. Yes, so I've been an artist my whole life. I've always naturally been good at art. I don't know why, it's just been, I've always been really good, and that's always been my escape for it. And for doing comedy skits and everything, when I started doing OnlyFans, and I quit my corporate job, I was working corporate, I deleted all my campsites. I was like, okay, I need to figure out like how to get out there and how people are gonna watch me. And so I started doing comedy skits. I was extremely introverted, very introverted, but I was like, I need to get myself out there. I need to go meet people, I need to go do stuff. And that's how I put myself out there. I started titty twerking. I've done my body painting and titty twerking. I paint with oil and acrylic. I'm a full-time artist. When at my house, I don't like to leave my house, you know this.
Yeah.
I don't like to leave my house. I'm always painting. I I'm pretty good at my art. I'm not great, but I'm self-taught.
I think you're really good.
Thank
She
you.
drew a little like avatar arrow on me for like one of the skits I did.
Yeah.
I definitely smeared it a little. It's
okay.
It's fine.
Okay. It's okay. We should do one where I body paint you.
Oh, I'm so down. We can even make that like a little video because I'll be naked. Who wants to watch, guys?
Dude, you guys definitely want to watch. But art has always been just a way to release. But it's hard when I have so much pressure of a career, of momhood, of my mental health. Does not want to be my friend. I can't be creative.
Yeah.
But I actually have this little series that I'm working on. It's called Motherhood.
Uh-huh.
And my kid came out as trans last year.
Uh-huh.
It was really hard. It was really, really hard because I felt like maybe I did something wrong. Not there's anything wrong with trans, but I'm like, damn, like what? I've never dealt with this. I didn't know any trans people, and I'm like, okay, there's nothing but love and acceptance on my end. But you know, all the pieces that I've made with my motherhood collection has been some of the hardest emotional times of my life. And whenever I feel like that, I get a giant canvas, a glass palette. I put all my oil, and I just allow my palette knife to feel whatever I'm feeling, and it just comes out. And I've created about 4 pieces that have so much meaning behind them.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you. But there's so much stuff I don't tell people of my art and like that I do, but
yeah. I know you're like lighting up because I feel like people don't ask you about it often.
No, they don't.
Well, so happy that's been like an outlet for you. And I mean, art, it's just like a form of self-expression. Like, gotta express yourself somehow, and you've numbed yourself so much of your life, so it's like you need to have...
It's hard numbing yourself. It's hard because today I still am pretty numb. I feel a lot now, but sometimes my body just goes, I feel nothing, and it's hard to pull myself out of that because I don't want to be there. That's not healthy. I can't thrive if I don't feel.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. Well, yay. If someone wants to like buy your art, where can they buy art? Or
Hell
do
yeah.
Can they?
Yes, they
Okay.
can. Yes, they can. You can hit me up on my OnlyFans, xwifekaren.com, or you can hit me up on my Instagram, xwifesart. And I'll have a site soon where I'll be posting all my pieces.
That's so exciting. If anyone wants to find me, it is DEELZ.com for all of my links because I always get my shit deleted.
Me too.
But surprisingly, I've been getting my shit back. So yeah, you can find me there and make sure to get some of her art. I think I'll be buying a piece soon once I am a little more financially stable.
I can make you one of Wubs.
Yes!
You're like, say less.
All right. Also, if you want to see me eating her out, come to our OnlyFans.
Yay!